Good morning, Year 8. This is Mr. Souza welcoming you back to the summer term. I hope you had a lovely break and are fully rested and ready to start a new module. So for your do now, what I would like to do is pick 5 countries and make some creative passport stamps for each place. You could be inspired by a landmark, a flag, a national animal, or something similar. So please take a couple of minutes to do that. You've got a couple of stamps on the slide to inspire you. So please pause the video and take a couple of minutes to do that. So as you may have deduced, our topic for this half term is travel writing. So please could you write in the title of travel writing along with the date. So to start us off, I'd like you to think about your favourite place to visit. It may be abroad, or it could be in the UK. Write it down and also write why it's your favourite place to visit. So please pause the recording for a couple of minutes in order to do this. Okay, so this is a photo of my favourite place. Do you recognise it? It's Boston. I've only been there once when I was 14, as my uncle lives there and he was getting married. And I remember being really struck by how friendly everyone was, how generous the people were, and also the food was amazing. If you've never been to America, you've got an amazing experience ahead of you if you're planning to go at some point, because it's an incredible place to be. Of course, there are some places in America which aren't so friendly, but Boston is a fantastic place. So at some point in your life, I recommend traveling to Boston if you haven't done so already. So what I'd like to do next is use the words at the bottom of the page to fill in the gaps in the sentences. Write the completed sentences into your book. And just to stress, I don't want any shortcuts. I want you to write out the full sentences with the words at the bottom. So please pause the video in order to do that now. Okay, so this is the paragraphs with the words inserted. Travel writing can persuade people to visit new places. It can help people to decide which holiday destination is best for them. Writers use different types of words and pictures in their writing, depending on the audience they are writing for. Travel writing can also help people to understand about different cultures, religions, and the geography and wildlife of other cultures. Travel writing can also be a form of entertainment, or a way of helping us to understand what a person has done in their life. Travel writing, which is about what someone has done, is called autobiographical or biographical writing. You can find travel writing in newspapers, magazines, and on the internet, as well as in books. Postcards are even considered travel writing. So please make sure you've got all the right words in the right places. If not, please amend your work now. So what is travel writing? What things might be included and why is it important? What I'd like you to do next is to make a mind map. So have travel writing in the middle and then have words and phrases around it that describe what travel writing is and why it's important. So please pause the video now to do that. So travel writing is a form of creative non-fiction in which the narrator's encounters with foreign places serve as the dominant subject. Travel writing is important as it humanises distant places and cultures. So some things you might have written down: holiday brochures, travel and lifestyle blogging, travel memoirs, so when you reflect back on your own travel, social media marketing, travel itineraries, guidebooks, advice articles, destination pieces, and advertising leaflets. If you didn't get any of these, please pause the video to make a note of them. So audience and purpose. On your mind map, for each piece of travel writing you have included, write next to it the audience, who would read it, and the purpose, why it has been written. Please pause the video in order to do this. So to give you some ideas, holiday brochures, you might have said, the audience are people who are thinking of booking a holiday and searching for inspiration, and the purpose is to advise particular locations, hotels, and holiday packages. Travel and lifestyle blogging and travel memoirs, the audience is anyone who's interested in that person or the places they've written about, and the purpose is to reflect back on important memories and places. So if you're a bit stuck, hopefully that will help you, and pause the video again to have another go or to reflect back on what you've done. So what I'd like to do next is identify which type of travel writing these examples are. So pause the video, read through each of the examples and jot down what type of travel writing you think each one is. So the first one is an advice article. So it's the kind of article you would find in a newspaper or Lonely Planet kind of thing, and it's full of recommendations and suggestions. It's advising you on the kind of holiday you should take. The second one is a personal travel blog. You can see lots of use of the letter I. You've got a reflection on personal experience. Unlike the first one, it's not instructing or recommending, but rather reflecting and sharing, so it's a personal experience. The third one is from an official tourism website, so it's quite distinct from the personal travel blog in that it uses lots of detail, it uses the imperative to encourage you to do certain things, it also uses statistics and detail and is very much an advertisement. So in contrast to the reflective tone of a personal travel blog, it uses a more commanding tone. Again, the use of the imperative instructing you, encouraging you very strongly to do what it recommends. So 3 very different types of travel writing. What's really interesting is that all these 3 examples are all describing the same place, but because of the different purpose, the style and techniques used are very different. So that's something very interesting to reflect upon. So descriptive writing, a personal travel blog. Look back at one of your passport stamps from the start of the lesson and choose one of the places you have been to or could research well. Have a go at describing the place. You are not trying to advertise it, like a professional tourism board, or offer advice like a guidebook. Your purpose is to describe the location so others can imagine it and share in the experience, much like a travel blog. Remember to use descriptive language and try to use a range of adjectives and adverbs and include all 5 senses. So please spend a decent amount of time on this. First do your planning and then write it out in full. So I would advise about 10 to 15 minutes to do this. So please pause the video now and complete this task. So finally, I'd like you to read over your description. Think about, could the place you are describing be clearly identified through your description, or are there any key details missing? Does your description make the place desirable? Does it make you want to go there? Why or why not? Remember, a description isn't trying to advertise or persuade, it's an honest yet personal experience. That means it can still be biased, but that could be negative rather than positive bias. After all, not every place you go to is going to be wonderful. You'll probably have good and bad experiences. So think about how can you make that description a bit more personal in either a positive or negative way. So take a couple of minutes to do that now. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. Don't forget, if you are after an achievement point, just send me a picture of your work, and if I think you've done well, then I will award you an achievement point. Also, do get in touch if you have any questions about today's lesson or the topic we've just started. So thank you again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.